Okay, the Black in My Day is coming. Before we get to Black in My Day, Stugotz has got issue with Chris Sims, and I don't know what we do about this. A tweeter writes in, Sims is profiting off of his exposure on the Lebatard Show and is now giving away the list that loyal fans have been listening for like 2 months now.
Right.
Sims should be ashamed of himself. The Dan Patrick account is sending out Chris Sims' analysis that is supposed to be confidential, but Chris Sims, because he's got a little Stugotz in him, can't help himself going on other radio shows giving his opinion when that's supposed to be proprietary to us.
In fairness, we got the idea because he went on the Dan Patrick Show to begin with and said Blake Bortles was the 70th best quarterback.
What are you doing here?
But Sims did reveal number 1 and number 3, and I am upset about it because we signed a contract with him, and this is a breach of that contract.
He did not reveal 1 and 3.
I said this last time I was here. This show made that dude. Not his father, not his career at Texas,
Dan
not
Patrick?
his spleen. No.
Oh.
Made Chris Sims, and this is how he repays us?
Yeah.
This is the Chris Sims quote on Dan Patrick. And again, spoiler alert, get away from your radios. Like if you, listen to me.
This is
This is Game of Thrones.
Look.
This is like, listen to me. Spoiler alert. If you do not want to know about Chris Sims' list of top 70 quarterbacks, what I'm telling you is get away from your radio, your podcast, your television right now.
Kevin Spacey's Kaiser Sose. That's what's about to happen right now.
So,
give him a second.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah?
Have we given him enough time? No, I want to follow spoiler alert protocol, even though I never do, to make sure that if this is ruinous for anyone in our audience, you have time to get away from your radio. Andrew Perloff of the Dan Patrick Show has placed on Twitter this from Chris Sims on the DP Show, quoted Chris Sims. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time. That's bad enough, right? That's a bad enough.
Surely he stopped there.
No. Unbelievably, he did not.
What?
You right? Right? It's offensive. Like, surely he stopped there. Like that. Surely he didn't even start there. I can't believe he started there.
Dan, sometimes things slip. You have a secret. You didn't want to let it out. And oops, I shouldn't have said that. And usually when you say the secret, you're like, oh my God.
Yes, but that's a one-time thing.
Right?
Yeah.
He stopped there.
Yep.
That's it. We all make mistakes. He stopped there, right?
No, he did not stop there, unbelievably enough. He added, I probably have Tom Brady at number 3.
Jeez. It's over.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like walking into the bedroom and the person you've loved all your life is sleeping with someone else and you had no inkling.
2 people.
Jesus. It's what we went. It's what we just walked in on. Chris Sims is in bed with Dan Patrick and Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are in the room.
Yes.
And it's horrifying.
Yep, it is. What do we do?
We're getting the Jezebel on the phone right now. Perhaps there's a loophole. Now, he has said at every turn when we put an injured guy low that this is just the list for this season.
This is an all-time list.
Maybe,
it seems like
it's different, perhaps.
And he did use the word probably, which doesn't really confirm anything, you know?
No, he said Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time. I probably have Tom Brady at number 3. Now, I am going to hear Chris Sims' appeal on this. But I am prepared to suspend him from his own list for one game and replace him with Trey Wingo.
Wow.
If this arbitration hearing does not work out, because on behalf of our show, I am deeply offended by what Chris Sims has done on the Dan Patrick Show, where, again, the quote is, and spoiler alert, I'm sorry if I've done that. I'm sorry if I've ruined your morning or your life.
And keep in mind, this is us acknowledging we stole the whole idea from Dan Patrick.
That's right. We said that at the beginning. I'm not interested in fairness. I'm interested in us getting everything.
It's odd that I was interested in fairness there for a second.
Weird that's the stance you took. Feeling the need to placate Dan Patrick.
Sorry about that. Won't happen again.
So, Sims, defend yourself. This quote on the Dan Patrick Show, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time. I probably have Tom Brady at number 3. Defend yourself, man.
Well, this was all time. The list we're talking about is ranking the quarterbacks as of right now after the 2017 season and recent history. You know, number 2 all time is John Elway, so we're not going to be hearing him on our list anytime soon, okay? So Yes, that was more in a context of all-time conversation. Has nothing to do with this year. I would never breach my contract with Lebatard. I don't want Stugotz and Tony Baselli to my house to break my legs or anything. So I really was very cognizant of that and tried to avoid our recent list, what we're talking about here over the next few weeks.
Here's what we're upset about, though. It stands to reason, right, that if Aaron Rodgers is the greatest of all time, he's probably number one on this list, right? That's the problem that we're having right now.
Well, yeah, but you don't know that. It's great, but you don't know.
I feel like I do now, though. I feel like I do now.
And the danger is that now Chris is going to switch his list and make Aaron Rodgers 2 to basically avoid.
And just doing math, since Elway is no longer playing, I'm guessing Brady's number 2.
Yeah, okay. Flip-flop him.
And so therefore, one-game suspension. Trey Wingo, can we call Trey Wingo, please, and have him select where are we? What number are we on this quarterback list? 15? Let's call. Is there someone better than Trey Wingo to call to replace Chris Sims? 1-game suspension. Don't try and defend yourself. You had your day in court.
I just want to be clear. We're operating under the surprise that Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are the 2 best quarterbacks in the league.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you guys are total assumptions are being made. That's all that is.
You're suspended.
You're making total assumptions.
You're suspended. And I don't know what the greatest way to insult you. Is it with Trey Wingo's list or is it with somebody else's?
How about Lefko?
Now that's an idea.
Who's the best one to get? Who's the best one to get to replace Sims? I don't want his 15th best quarterback. I want it from someone else. Lefko's. Can anyone top the bidding? Lefko, get me Lefko. Lefko next.
Don Lebatard.
And Demolition Man is Drexler.
Absolutely not.
Die Hard can be Jordan.
Drexler.
Look, it's not a
Paul Millsap.
A couple more years. I mean,
no, you know what?
All-Star.
You know what? No, I got it.
Stugotz.
I'll tell you what Demolition Man is. Demolition Man is Jamal McGlure. That's what.
Yes. No. You crossed the line.
What?
Get out.
That's disrespectful.
Unbelievable. This is the Don Lebatard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Got a new Black in My Day. It'll be on at 11 Eastern. A new Black in My Day from Amin Elhassan. We are in the throes of an enormous betrayal. Chris Sims went on another radio show and is claiming that it was just flirtation, that they were just talking, that it wasn't emotional, that he didn't cheat on us. It was just,
text messages. It's just text messages.
And it was phone sex. It wasn't just text messages. Chris Sims had phone sex with Dan Patrick.
I'll go further than that. I think there was actual cheating involved. But he's trying to clean it up as
It's lies. It's lipstick on the collar. It's nothing. It's not the truth.
Get the smell.
He went on Dan Patrick's show and he said, "quote Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time. I probably have Tom Brady at number 3, and we believe that's a breach of contract."
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
you should have given a spoiler alert, by the way.
I didn't do it there.
That's all right.
I tried to give you a spoiler alert last segment, but Amin is correct. So here's where we are on the list. Okay. This whole thing started, as Stugotz mentioned, in the name of fairness, on Dan Patrick's show, at which point we stole it and then became enraged for Dan Patrick stealing back Chris Sims because we feel like we've done more with Chris Sims of Bleacher Report than Dan Patrick has. We've been better for his career.
Way better. Yep. The best thing in his career.
Okay. The best thing in his media career, maybe.
No.
His career. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened to him.
He played an NFL playoff game.
He did?
I think he lost it, but I think he played it.
Someone got hurt, or
am I wrong about that?
Ankle?
Did Chris Sims not play in an NFL playoff game? I may be wrong about that.
Let me check. Hold on.
All right. So we are now suspending Chris Sims for a game for 1 day. You heard from him in the last segment. You heard his appeal hearing. He has been suspended for number 15 on his own list. So this is where we are on the list. Blake Bortles was number 70. He's behind Austin Davis, T.J. Yates, Cardale Jones, Brandon Weeden, C.J. Beathard, Sean Mannion, Jake Ruddick. There are a bunch of names here I've never even heard of. And number 15 is where we're at. And Patrick Mahomes was 30. Josh McCown, 29. Brissett, 28. Ryan Tannehill, Tyrod Taylor. Andy Dalton is ahead of Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's an odd one. By the way, Chris Sims did play a playoff game, Dan. You were right there. He was 25 of 38, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 25 completions, 198 yards.
I stand by my assessment. This is the pinnacle of his career.
Mitch Trubisky is number 24 on his list of quarterbacks. Sam Bradford's number 23. Joe Flacco's 22. Case Keenum, 21. Jared Goff was a surprise at number 20. Number 19 is Marcus Mariota. Dak Prescott was a surprise at 18 behind Alex Smith, and Jameis Winston is at 16. So we have suspended Chris Sims for betraying us, for cheating. We will take under advisement whether he will be allowed back tomorrow to do number 14 or not. But the first person we're going to go to in usurping Chris Sims is his father, Phil Sims. This is the first person that we're going to, and we're going to see who calls in, because we have just sent a variety of text messages to everyone we know, and we are going to see who it is has the best ranking for number 15, and then we'll decide what Chris Sims' ranking is for number 15. So thank you, Phil, for being on the show. Number 15, the 15th best quarterback, according to Chris Sims' father, Phil, is...
Oh, I'm just not going to answer that right away. I'm going to have a little rebuttal here.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Helicopter dad?
Phil, you're mad at us? All right, Phil, what's your rebuttal?
Oh, my God. Hey, you guys have been so great for his career. His paycheck hadn't changed, so how great have you been? Okay, that's number one. And he did play in a playoff game against the Washington Redskins,
right.
And I think he would have tied the game with a long, deep pass down the field. And I really forgot the receiver who dropped it in the end zone. It was almost the catch rule. He had it, he crossed the end zone, but he didn't complete the process, and he knocked it out of his hand, one of those things, I think.
Are you defending the playoff game your son played in 15 years ago?
Sounds like a personal record book going on here.
No, but I'm just
Name the receiver.
Some facts out that you guys don't know.
Who dropped the ball?
You don't know all the facts and everything.
Who dropped the ball on your son? Name the receiver.
Chris definitely knows, Phil.
Ask Chris, even though he's banned.
I don't know who it was.
Chris, give me a damn name.
I'm going to ask Chris right now.
Phil, give me a name. I'm sorry I referred to you as your son.
I'm going to say
that's a fine.
A Florida receiver. I remember they had a couple Florida receivers down there at the time, University of Florida.
Not a name of receiver, a name of the 15th best quarterback in the world.
Oh, that's what you want. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, you're making so much noise behind me. I mean, it's like going to an NFL game. I can't even talk to the person next to me because there's so much noise because everybody's
Sims, a name! Have you been away from a microphone for so long that you can't just give me a name?
Hey, go shave and grow another beard.
Yeah! He's out of here. We don't get a name. Adam Schefter joins the show now. Adam Schefter, who is the 15th best quarterback in the world?
Well, Dan, I was going to call into the Dan Patrick Show and tell him, but I'm going to tell you first before I tell it to anybody else.
Go ahead.
I believe I'm going to break this news right here that the 15th best quarterback in the NFL is one Dak Prescott.
Okay, this is confusing now on the list because we've got him at 18, but okay.
Well, what do we do?
I don't know. We've got a problem. We've got a problem.
Then how about Derek Carr?
Okay, he's not on the list yet. He's not on the list yet. Thank you, Adam, for your time. Thank you. Method Man with us now on ESPN Radio. Method Man, that's right. Method Man, we enjoy his company always. Method Man, who is the 15th best quarterback in the NFL according to Method Man?
See, I was going to say Cap, but Cap ain't in the NFL no more.
That's a good choice. We'll take Cap. We'll take Cap. That's fine. We'll take Cap.
Yep. You'll take Cap?
Yeah. All right, good. Well, who are you going to go with? Who are you going to go with before Cap or after Cap?
Case Keenum.
Okay, very good. All right. Meth, good talking to you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Meth. Sims had him at 21, so... What do we do?
Marty Smith joins us now. Marty Smith, who's the 15th best quarterback in the NFL?
By God, according to the Marty Party, the 15th best quarterback in the National Football League is Derek Anderson, backup quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. You have to have that coach on the sideline to field Cam Newton.
For the love of God.
All right, not going to use that one.
Thank you, Marty, for all your contributions to the show. Will Kane joins us now on ESPN Radio. He's always controversial. Will Kane, who is the 15th best quarterback in the NFL?
Colin Kaepernick was mentioned, so by ESPN policy, we now have to bring in Will Kane to discuss it.
Get out of here. Thank you, Will. Good talking to you. Good contribution to the show. Is there anyone else out there? Kevin Nagandi, who is the 15th best? That's right, Kevin Nagandi, who's the 15th best quarterback in the NFL?
I'm going elite at number 15, and that is Joe Flacco.
Excellent work. Now he's on the list twice. He's at 22.
They're all on the list twice. This is a terrible It's a terrible segment.
It's Colin Kaepernick.
Guillermo,
That's once a new boat. Time for some more ads.
I have the wide receiver's name who dropped the ball.
Who was this bum who betrayed Chris Sims?
By the way, I like how Phil Sims narrowed it down to some guy who went to Florida because they don't have any receivers in the league.
Well, but also, Phil never gave us a choice. He just yelled at us and then told me to grow another beard.
Sims says it was Edel Shepard. Never heard of him, but that's the guy, and Sims says he'll never forget him.
I don't think that's his right name. That's a fine.
Sims texted it to me.
What is his first name?
Edel Shepard.
Does that sound right to you guys?
So who's our 15th?
I don't know.
I got
Derek Anderson, I believe.